Och jag jobbar som konsulent barn och unga på Kulturarbetare. Och Kulturarbetare är en av Östergötlandsregionens förvaltningar. Och det känns jätteroligt att vara här idag och göra den här föreläsningen tillsammans med Tibro kommun.
Please welcome Professor Anne Bamford.
It's great to be here, and the reason I particularly like places like this is because, you know what, when you're in a place like this, you can do what you want to do, because all of the people you need to do whatever are here. And you can get away with things because you're not going to be under the eye so much of some of the people that would say no. The picture that I've got here, this front picture, I really love this picture because this is a fashion designer, this picture. He's a designer, like this is a beautiful house of design. He's a fashion designer, he's 3 years old, and he's created his hat that he's wearing, and it's a very nice hat. He's also created his dress, which is here, and he's drawing his designs and transferring his designs to computer. And he's 3 years old. He's found a little thing of creativity that he likes to do. And he's totally involved in it. Now, unlike what we're told about children, that little children have very short attention spans, this boy is a very dedicated designer, and he spends most of his time designing. He will happily stay designing and creating for long periods of time, whole days, even extending to other days. He's also been very entrepreneurial because he's realised as a fashion designer, he doesn't have to make all the creations himself. He can get other children in the children's centre to create the creations. So he's designing and then he instructs the other children how to make the creations. And they have fashion shows, they all put on their things and they walk. All of that happens with the input of a very good teacher. But the input of the teacher is very sensitive, because the input of the teacher has been to provide him with interesting inspiration, provide him with enough materials to be able to draw, challenge him to say, can you put your designs up on the computer? So he has something to reach for, but letting him go to create, to organise and to collaborate. So it's nice that we've got a fashion designer to start. He'll be a famous fashion designer in London one day, who knows. He actually comes from one of the poorest parts of London, and he's experiencing those things doing this. Now I go into some of my schools and they say, we're very busy in the school and we're focusing on mathematics at the moment, so we really aren't giving much of a focus to the arts. And I say to them, okay, if you really can't focus on it, I would like you to ban music from your school. No? I want there to be no more singing in your school. I don't want any humming in the corridor. You're not allowed to walk around humming. There is to be no paintings on the wall. You can't use drama in any of your lessons. I want you to ban it from your school. How is that school going to be without those things in it? How will it be without those things in it? Now, if I did an example, I could say to you, I want you to sell me all of your music for a month. Right? So for a month, you can't have any of your music. You've got to give it all to me. So you can't listen to music, can't have the radio going, no CDs, no iPod, no singing in the shower, no, if there's music on the television, you'll have to turn the volume down. You've got to give me all of your music. Okay, want for it? Would you sell it to me for 10? Right? No. 100. Come on, some of you might. 100. A lot of shaking heads still. 1,000. Come on, someone will sell it at 1,000. You're looking like you might come at 1,000. And that's a tricky time when you get to that. When I was with UNESCO, it was a really difficult answer. Is clean water more important than singing? Tricky one then. Because obviously you need clean water or you die. But you also need joy or you die. So how do you balance those quite difficult questions? Well, here are some interesting facts. We have doubled the amount we spend on education in the past 30 years. And yet results have not changed at all. Right? So all of that money has, in a way, made no difference whatsoever. Here's an interesting one. The higher you pay a teacher, the more chance the results will be good. Class size makes no difference at all. So you're better to have really high-paid teachers teaching big classes than low-paid teachers teaching small classes. Some things to think over. Finland, and I know we get sick of hearing about Finland, don't you? You just like, oh, Finland, oh. Finland has only one test that it gives children in their whole 19 years of school, and that's when they actually leave. No? That's interesting because in England they test children all the time. Even little 3-year-olds have to be tested to know which, kindergarten class they have to go in. Can your child know their sounds? Can your child know their colours? Can they count to 5 million? They're tested before they even walk in the door and put into groups.
Well, Sweden is copying that.
Yes, exactly. And yet Finland, which we know tops the PISA, has no test until the child leaves the school. The last thing is a test. School dropouts in Europe has become a disease. Some countries, Norway for example, has a terrible problem with school dropouts. The problem is that the children, and it's in Sweden as well, really bright children are dropping out. The clever ones are dropping out because they just say, I can't stand this anymore. I'm so bored, I'm so disinterested, I'm going to go. So it's not the children who aren't good at their work, it's the children who are very good at their work who are dropping out. Every country except Austria, boys are 12% more likely to drop out. Now these are serious. The dropout rate was 27, it's now 34, it's gone up again. So you've got like more than a quarter of children who are leaving, who don't want to be there. This product is called lip service. And it's the thing we often give to things in education. Oh yes, it's lovely that children have a concert, let's do it at Christmas, it's very nice and grandparents can come and that's nice, that'll do, that's lip service, we've done it now. We don't have to worry about it till Easter, we might have to do something at Easter, but the rest of the year we don't have to worry about it. So often what happens in education is this very little bit of something. We'll do a bit of it, it'll be okay. But it's not okay, a child wants something very, very deep, something meaningful. Another story. People believed in the world that every swan was white because those people had only ever seen white swans. Right? And if you've only ever seen white swans, it's reasonable to make the assumption every swan is white, correct? That was until they went to other countries that had black swans. And suddenly they had to go, well, actually, every swan's not white. Now, what I argue at the moment in education is that these black swans are staring the policymakers in the face, but they're still saying there's only white swans. Can't see any of these other things. No, it's just what we already know. Let's just get more white swans. We can stop the black swans by introducing even more white swans into our schools. And this is not a racist comment. This is a comment about attitude. Crucial attitudes that need to change in education systems.